I'm not fucking being lit.
Somebody gonna beat his ass over here. You need to get him, man.
I'm not being lit.
You belligerent, man.
Shalom. Hey, we out here at camp, man. Before we get started, we're gonna give all praise and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashuk, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashuk, Kakodash.
Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the students. See how can push this truth all the world. I want to keep pushing. Hey, we getting into it again, man. It's all number bullshit, right? We leave from one block to another block, still same old bullshit. You know, but hey, we're gonna get right into it to what's coming to Babylon, America. You know, everybody out here walking around having a grand old time, but this shit about to come to an end real soon. Little do you know, the lights about to go out in this fucking nasty ass place called New Orleans, man. And you niggas gonna tear each other apart when the lights go out.
It's going on literally. They got blackouts all over the fucking earth, man.
Yeah.
All right? Blackouts. 900 plus people just out of lights, man.
Yeah.
900,000. It's a lot.
If I can say real quick, and these cyber attacks like the Colonial Pipeline or the JBL meatpacking cyber attack, that isn't just some random hacker group over Russia. Hey, those are test runs for when they do the big show, the big lights out, and they're gonna knock out the banking system, knock out the internet. Which if they knock out the internet, what's that gonna lead to? The fame of the word. They knock out the food. They knock out everything. So it's gonna be a true lights out situation out here. Things are gonna get real 1860s barbaric.
We've been talking about EMPs and different things of that nature that knock power grids out, man. We've been at this setup like this, man. Like you say, everything is a test run for what's to come.
Hey, I'll just say one more thing. Hey, and the authorities that are in the know say America's infrastructure, their electrical grid and everything is highly outdated. So it would be nothing for like a real hard EMP attack to hit to knock everything out and shit would just be gone like that.
Yeah, and you got all this coming down the pipeline, but all these so-called fucking dumb Americans, if you think about, is celebrating a man getting a pipe stuck up his butt, you know? So we're in the midst of fucking Pride Month again. Must I say it again, you know? But hey, we're gonna get into it, because the most I ain't dealing with this pride shit. You know, when pride, who's the goddamn chief of
Get a little PG because you know.
oh yeah, y'all just tap me on the shoulder sometime. You know, the most I ain't dealing with this BS that's going on. P-Month, you wanna put it like that, you know?
Rainbow Day.
Yeah, Rainbow Day. You know, he ain't dealing with that. And you know, but we're gonna get into it with the scriptures to let you know. You know, ain't nothing changed. The Most High was the same yesterday, he's still today, man.
I got you something real quick. This is Rocks in the 7. Pride is hateful before Yahweh and man. And by both do it one committee iniquity.
Yeah, so who are these people talking about be proud that you're a sodomite, you know? Be proud you laying down with men or woman on woman. Who's the originator, who's the author of this BS? If you don't know about it now, it's the so-called white man. You know, I don't know how many times we gotta tell you fools this, man. All roads lead back to Edom, the so-called white man.
Hey, they got that saying, all roads lead to Rome. And what was Rome rife with? Pederasty, which is men dealing with teenage boys. Pedophilia, a Rainbow Day, everything wicked and demonic in this society goes back to Rome, goes back to the Grecians, goes back to Mount Seir, goes back to the Hamites, Babylon, everything. Assyria had that shit going on, so this is no different today with America, Babylon the Great, because this whore has slept with all these other philosophies and has retained their seed in her, so she's just infected with them and spewing them out everywhere.
Yeah. So hey, and that's what we doing out here. The Most High, it ain't our own will, it's the Most High will. We gotta come out here and diagnose the damn problem. And the problem is the so-called white man in the earth, man. You know, he's rulers. Hey, in order for things to get better, you gotta cut the cancer out. And who's the damn cancer? The living cancer walking around destroying the earth, destroying the resources, destroying the minds of the people. Hey.
His name literally means wasted.
Hey, what subject am I on? You know? You know?
His name, if I can say, his name literally means wasted away is he.
Yeah.
The scriptures say he that exalted himself shall be abased, and he that abased himself shall be exalted, man. So pride has been the downfall of many. All these kingdoms, even before Eve, there was prideful. He just had the highest amount of pride, all right? So the Lord hate pride. Matter of fact, Proverbs 8 and 13, the fear of Yahweh is to hate evil, pride, and arrogance, and 17, the fear of Yahweh is to hate evil, pride, and arrogance, and the evil way, and the forward mouth do I hate.
Yeah, that's straight to the point and a mouthful on top of that, you know? And it's just that simple. That's all you got to do. You know, you're not supposed to be partaking in this BS. You know, like it says, with the multitude, following out the multitude to do evil. And that's what the people doing today all over the world, following the multitude to do evil, man. You know, I want to be some, is it the parade day? They got to have that parade, or is it coming up this month?
Yeah.
Normally, hey, I want to be surprised.
It's supposed to be the bike day today.
Oh, yeah.
On the bikes naked.
All right, well, yeah, they coming through the bikes today. You know, any moment now, you'll see a band of sodomites coming through on bikes, showing their perverseness, man.
Hey, Jake take up on the same spirit as his father, the devil. So when you think about it, Jake private. You got Jake on Instagram and Twitter. All right, you got a humpback choke. All right, thinking he look like that's a person who should just be a base, just off just our countenance, man. Your countenance should have based you alone. You know, being bald head, cursed, extra backs. She got 2 backs, huh?
Book of Sirach, chapter 13, verse 1. He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith, and he that hath fellowship with a proud man shall be like unto him.
Hey, that's our people. Hey, then they say, let's go and make a covenant with the heathen. You know, that's our people, man. They want to be hand in hand with this so-called white man. They want to take on his ways. They don't want to be blamed. You know, hey, just because you are following this so-called white man, his laws, Jake, don't mean you still ain't got a contract you got to uphold. You made a deal with the Most High Power, the creator of the whole fucking earth, man. And he ain't forgotten I got one damn time, man. He know you still owe him blood, man. It's a blood in, blood out contract you niggas made. You know, and when I'm saying niggas, I'm talking about everybody on this sign right here. All y'all. I don't care if you're in the depths of Mexico or the bottom tip of South America, man. You made a fucking contract and you gotta honor that. But hey, I know you ain't gonna honor it, so hey, the only way you can be able to pay this debt back is with blood, Jake. That's the only thing the Most High accepting this time. No more burning lambs and all that shit. You know, that shit is out the window. Give it. Zechariah 32. You know, but hey, you gonna pay real fucking soon, man. Like it? You know, y'all gotta pay real soon. Cause this whole fucking place is vexed. Dealing with you dumb, bugged out niggas. Looking at these fucking nasty, trash ass women. You know? I know it's appealing when you look at it, but when you get down to the depths and the roots of this nasty ass shit, you know it ain't no much depth and disease in these hoes, man. These young women, whatever you want to call them, young whores. You know? You don't want no fucking tramp. They ain't got no relationship with the Most High. You know?
Because a woman knows how to be quiet, man. Yeah. Whores and bitches out here, man. They just for clamorous with all of that.
Yeah.
Anything wrong, man.
You know, when you get down to it, a true man of the Lord. I know the Most High ain't got it set up that way for us, but a true man of the Lord, you know, you want your woman to love the Most High just like you love the Most High and his son Yahweh Shah, man. That's what it's really all about. You know, these bitches, yeah, you go pop them, get your nut off here and there. But when it get down to the basics of it, man, it ain't shit, you know? That's why we gotta get the hell up out of this place, man. Yeah.
This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein.
Yeah, the 2/3 of Israel. Bottom dwellers of Israel, man. Y'all the trash of Israel. 2/3. Because look, you want to be like Esau, your goddamn daddy, man. Look, blonde hair, green hair, purple hair. Women wearing any and everything now. Like you said, they might as well just be wearing fucking just a string now. Showing all your parts like the heathen. Back in the day when I was growing up, you know, watching porn and shit, it was this nasty so-called trashy ass white woman. But now look, it's these ghetto gaggers. Now you got our women wanting to be the biggest slut now of the planet. She want to be the hoe on the magazine now.
Yeah, the makeup a long time.
Yeah. You know, go in there, sneak and get, you know, your daddy or uncle playboys. You see the fucking nasty ass white woman laid up there with her titties out. But now people say they gonna beat that, especially our women. They envy that whore. The so-called white woman. She ain't nothing but a dog anyway, you know?
Hey, that's what brother has been saying. Hey, you 2/3 out here. You want to follow after your daddy, the devil. You want to be a part of this system, and you want to go. You want to be the best heathen, degenerate Edomite you can be. But there's a recompense for that, because as the brother was saying, you made a blood contract with the Most High, and now that you failed that contract, what comes next? You got to pay with blood. This is Isaiah 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saying Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. Okay. Isaiah 30, verse 1. Woe or destruction to the rebellious children.
Yeah. Destruction to you niggas, man. 2/3 Israel. Death, destruction, and pure hell to y'all, man. Every time I go into work, I have to see you coon-ass niggas on the job. One little fucking scrawny-ass white man all over you, got you niggas running scared. You know, and that shit is fucking, it's disgusting to see, man. Here it is, fucking man, they fucking live dirty, 40, big beards and shit on their face. And they goddamn little scrawny-ass cracker come in the room, and you niggas bound down, fucking scared as a motherfucker, man. I gotta do it. You got attention. Yeah. Wait a minute, you niggas ain't Megatron, man. Yeah. You can go from being this big to this small, man.
And you remember the noises the Transformers would make? It just turned into a whole crazy.
Right?
Like that other young ass coon, I think she's from down here. Want to go around America. Fucking white people and police officers.
Yeah, I saw that video. Yeah. This is a disgrace, man. From old to young, man. All y'all workers. 2/3 of Israel, man. Y'all fit for the fire. You know, you're gonna get burned up with Esau, Edom, and them nuclear ICBM missiles hit. And it's just ain't no way around it.
Since they won't be like they fall to the devil, check this out. This Daniel 5 and 20. You go first and I go. This Daniel 5 and 20. But when his heart was lifted up, we're talking about Nebuchadnezzar, and his mind hardened in pride, he was disposed from his kingly throne, and they took his glory from him. So when the king Nebuchadnezzar, when his pride, it says when his heart was lifted up and his mind hardened in pride, the Lord disposed him of his kingly throne and took his glory from him, man. He was changed into a beast. So if the Lord would do this to the king of the other nations, how much those that take unto the skirt of the wicked, man? All right? Huh? That take pleasure in wickedness of doing that's the king, because that's the king is the beast. All right? So when the pride of the heart is lifted up, all right, the Lord be ready to abase a man for that, man.
What you just says it back in this Isaiah 30. This is back in Isaiah 30, I'm going to reread verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt. And we know this is that spiritual Egypt in Revelation 11, verse 8, that great city, that so-called great city, that great city in wickedness, United States of America, and have not asked at pay. It said spiritual Egypt and Sodom. And what are we in the midst of right now? Rainbow month. That is extolled to the clouds in this wicked kingdom. That walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. What you see with these jakes, with Joe Biden becoming president, Moneybag Joe giving out those stimulus checks. Moneybag Joe giving out those stimulus checks. They just swallowing down the okie doke. Hey, we got Kamala Harris as vice president. We got another one of us in the White House. When Kamala Harris sent a lot of you so-called black men into prison when she was a politician in California, and Joe Biden, he's a devout nigger hater.
Wow.
He put up.
It should nigga the chicken. I might have to pick in my bag, but that nigga, he's a devout. All out from the child up, hates you niggas. Oh yeah.
He came out with several crime bills that were mainly aimed at sending you Jakes to jail. He was the architect of that. And what the elder brother was saying with his son was talking to his lawyer saying nigga and said, I don't want you charging me Hennessy race. That's some racist ass shit to say. But hey, that's who you extol to the clouds, that Pharaoh that you go down to help for.
That's what we're going to say today, guys, you know? Hey, and just like Kamala, she used you niggas to get to the top, man. When she got to the top, she went and got her a devil, you know?
Gutter rat.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, you niggas love to have it so, man. You love being played, whether it's about a woman, so-called white man, or these other heathens. You know, got you mopping and cleaning their goddamn floors and busting their tables off goddamn thing. You love to be the butt of the joke. You like to be the bottom of the barrel. You know, the deck is comfortable at the bottom, man. You know, so we can't use y'all. In other words, the 2/3. You can't be used, you can't be re-educated. You got to be exterminated, man. You know, it's just that simple.
Verse 3. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
Yeah, and you've been Egypt still, mentally and spiritually, you know? And you don't want to leave. Every time somebody talk about destroying this fucking place, niggas come up against us. You niggas love the leeks and the onions here, you know? You want to stay eating these goddamn Brothers Fried Chicken and shit. Yeah. It was money bag joke. That's what they say, you know?
This is John chapter 8 and 44. Hear of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When you speak a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
Right, your father the devil, man. He shall eat him. Not some man underground with a pitchfork, man, poking people in the back. You know, we talking about an actual physical person that's on this earth. You know, that same piece of trash you work with every day. That's what they talking about, man. But ultimately, it's the global elite. You know, it's the truth. The true head of the social, you know, the serpent, the head, the global elite, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, you know, and the Gettys. And all that type of shit. But hey, this piece of shit, the camera on that dirt bag right there, that's what you niggas love, the devil, man, the so-called white man. The fucking caveman of the earth, you know?
Yeah, that was Yo, whoa. That was that man.
Yeah. No, I'm done on that dance. You want that Proverbs 16? This Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before fall.
So yeah, this pride, this whole pride vibration that's set in the earth, man. This pride for this pride, that's so-called white man. It's gonna be destroyed, man, and it's pride. You know, when he finally get knocked off his high horse, his high chair, he gonna see he ain't as proud as he thought he was. He ain't gonna be that man he thought he was, man. He thought he was the baddest thing in the earth. Hey, you gonna soon find out that a so-called black man, known as Yahweh Shai, is coming to knock his stinking red ass off that high chair, man. You know, cause he done got by way too long. You know, he done did what he wanted to the nations. He done trampled over the nation of Israel with ease, man. And he got to get paid back for that. There's no other way of getting around that, man.
So, Psalms chapter 10, we start at 3. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom Yahweh abhorreth. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts.
Yeah. Hey, this so-called white man ain't thinking about the Most High Yahweh, man. He thinking about himself, his boat, his dog, his badass, hell-ass children. You know, that's what he's thinking about. His new four-wheeler. You know, he ain't thinking about the Most High when he passed these fucking laws in these damn Senate houses. You know, he thinking about his own, what he think is best. You know, or they get on these think tanks and, you know, the way we should, you know, form society. Let's get, you know, let's shape their opinion to get them to have sex with animals. You know, let's introduce pedophilia, man. You know, that's what we like. That's what the so-called white man say. You know, forget what this book say. This is a fairy tale book, the so-called white man say, you know. But little do you know, this devil, when you get down to the basics of it, he knows this book is true, man. Because we see it all the time where he's getting ready for war with the so-called, the so-called black man named Yahweh Shah. You know, we see the space station going up. We see we hear about the goddamn, the Black X site where he's making all this fucking military shit trying to prepare war for the angels. So, you know, the so-called white man, he got all you motherfuckers in the trick bag, really. One hand, he's telling you that the Most High don't exist, but on the other hand, he's getting ready for battle. But you fools, you Israelites keep fucking falling for this white man bullshit, the lies like the brother brought out. You know? You love the lies of the so-called white man. You love the fucking lies from each other on top of that. You try to be straight up with Jake, you know, come at the straight man, you know. Jake don't want to hear that. Jake wants lies, treachery, and deceit, man.
Hey, I'm about to finish. I'm about to finish. Dealing with a man right there. I'm about to finish. I'm about to finish.
This is Isaiah 2 and 11. Yeah. Yeah, I read it. It was This is Isaiah 2 and 11. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day.
Yeah, so all you proud people on earth, man, woman, whatever, all y'all gonna be bowed down real soon. Y'all gonna be laid flat in the earth. You know, you're gonna be food for the flies and the vultures here real soon. You know, coming in form of Jacob's trouble, warm it up, you know, to loosen y'all up a little bit. You know, not including the race wars, you know, the famine. All that's coming to bring hell upon all you people, man. Y'all been wicked, especially the Israelites. You ain't never want to turn back. You always hate it. You despise the Most High and His covenant, man. So guess what? You're going to pay you back for that. And we're here to tell you that's what it's going to be. You know, it ain't no other way. You can't pray to Jesus. Jesus and letting pants ain't going to save you, man. You know, you can follow him from here to all the way to fucking 2 Lane from Canal Street. He can't save you out of what's coming. So all you blind followers, all these false prophets, and all these young people claiming they know the scriptures all of a sudden, they're going to lead you right to your destruction. You know? And it's like you can't get too deep with Jake, but even the simplest way ain't simple enough for Jake, man. You know the Most High block you niggas here where you can't get this. So hey, we just out here prophesying to the wind pretty much, and we just going to keep doing it. You know, it's the JT hit, legislature, you know? And right now, it's hot, my patience thin, so when Mosai turn it up, cut the lights out, bring the troops on the street, start killing you niggas, I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to hear the screaming and the hollering and the fucking tears when these tanks get on the street, man. Because I'm tired of fucking waking up in this fucking hellhole. You know, you get up, you beg start a goddamn time. I'm tired. Fucking pain going on. You know, this hurt, that ain't. Every time you look around, it's another fucking bill. And like you say, the rent is too damn high. You know, and that's what we got to deal with. Oh, man. For real. Oh, yeah.
Camera might break.
Yeah. He's gonna jump in the camera.
Man, we ain't gonna be on the block for too much.
Yeah. This is straight butter.
Look at
Bottom of the barrel out here.
it's just at this point out on the block, it's like the brother was saying, we're just preaching to the wind because it's nothing but a bunch of fucking jokers out here. It's just preaching the word, and whoever mainly getting edified on the camera hears it, and you dirtbags walking by, you're getting your judgment. Because we know that fame is coming. And hey, when that time comes and the word's not out, then that's when you degenerates are gonna want to get right. But hey, this is what the Most High has to say about it. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And it's nothing but great pride out here. You got crackheads out here. You got people walking by scoffing. You got Haile Selassie rejects talking shit. It's nothing but just buggery out here. And of course, still, we can't forget it's Rainbow Month. So it's going to be a beautiful thing when the famine of the word comes and the judgment comes. You people are about to suffer those many great miseries. The race wars, the civil wars, the famines, the pestilences, watching your children die in front of your eyes. And hey, as the Most High said in Proverbs chapter 1, and he's going to laugh about it when the calamities come.
Come on, man. Hey, go much to finish.
It's back in Isaiah 2:11. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day. It says, for the day of Yahweh of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low.
Yeah. All you people gonna be brought low, man. I mean, to the very possible lowest common denominator you can get out here. That's right. Death, man. You know, hey, like I said, y'all gonna get steamrolled real quick, man. We're gonna go to the Jeremiah 30.
This is Jeremiah 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be saved out of it, Jake. You know, it's only for 144,000 and 1/3 this time. Like saying it's a day, nothing like it ever. You're gonna be destroyed in that day, Jake. You can't get your MREs, you can't build you a bunker. You know, you can't go out into the country and hide in the mountains. You're gonna be exterminated, like I said before, man. 2/3 gotta be cut off. The most I ain't gonna be like, well, I'm going to save a percent here and there. You know, I did the most of it. No, 66.6% of y'all gonna be killed, man. You know, it ain't gonna be like the brother said one time, ain't nobody gonna be able to stand over you and bring you back to life. You know, you're gonna get back up and start on the video games, man. You're gonna be led to a crisp out here, you know.
Ain't no respawn.
Yeah, you done it over with, man. And hey, JT, Jacob's Trouble, is primarily directed to you. It is directed to you Israelites, man. So-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans. You know, you slated for death. You know, you had a good run. You know, you went to church on Sunday. You know, you had your neck bones and collard greens and all that shit. You know, you had a good time eating all that shit on Sunday, you know?
Yeah, Jake had a bad run.
Yeah. You know, they had a good run at wickedness, you know?
God,
you know, but hey, the Jake, they had a good run, man. You know, you had a grand old time here in Babylon, doing what you want. You know, popping your best friend old woman. You know, selling all the big dope you like to sell and all that shit. Robbing and stealing and killing. Hey, you got to pay that back though. And I don't care who like it and who don't, man. You know, so hey, shoot fit where?
This is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 8. Now will I shortly pour out my fury upon thee, and accomplish mine anger upon thee. And I will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense thee for all thine abominations. And mine eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity. I will recompense thee according to thy ways, and thine abominations that are in the midst of thee. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh that smiteth.
Yeah, when all this hell come upon the earth, you're going to know there's a power that brought this down. There's no way a man could have came up with this hell that's coming. You know, and you're going to be howling with vexation. You know, you're going to have that deep howling like you're almost about to lead a planet Earth howl. You know, your eyes roll back in your head, and you see people dropping, you know, 200 on this side, 50 on that side. You know it's going to be from the Most High power, man. His name is Yahweh, it's the one who it is. It ain't God, you know, it ain't Yah, it ain't all this, whatever they come up with all these dumbass names. But you know, hey, either you gonna know the Most High name or you don't, man. That's the only thing that can get you out of here, man. you got to be dealing with his son, Yahweh Shah, first off. Because the Most High ain't even dealing with us right now. We dealing with his son, Yahweh Shah, so you got to take it to him first. And then he going to take your prayer to the Most High. Maybe he have mercy on your stinking ass soul out here, you know?
Yeah, that's how bad of a case we're in. We can't even deal with the Heavenly Father directly.
Yeah. You can't go around Yahweh Shah. You got to go through that straight gate. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You got to go through the straight gate, Jake. You can't go over the wall, you know, or go through the window like you niggas like to break into shit, you know? You can't break into the kingdom of heaven, man.
You know, I was gonna say too, there's only one way to come through. It has to come through this truth. It has to be sound doctrine too. It can't be watered down. It can't be mixed with this. It can't be at agreement with that. That's why you got cats want to come out and plead their case about them being in this. We don't care. Our sole purpose is to come out here, teach the doctrine, the true doctrine of Yahweh Shai, defeat the elect, get the hell out of here, man. We don't care what you want to do, who you want to give yourself a title of being, we don't give a damn, man. It's about this word. There's only one way. You can't remix the doctrine, man. You can't remix the actual approach to getting into the kingdom, man.
God be with you, my brother.
All right, man.
Even the Melchizedek nigga, he in his pride. But folks not. Folks understanding and knowledge, and he pride. He got his whole family prideful with him. His pride is seeping off on other people. To where they proud. They calling him the Messiah. The Christ. The Christ.
The Most High said him a strong delusion, you know? For you to be able to, you know, you got a heavy seducing spirit on you.
You know, the last guy that said that, he's dead now, man. There was a guy from the time I came to the truth calling himself the God sent comfort, calling himself basically Jesus Christ. But he had that.
Amen. Ain't on the right hand of the Father.
How you Jesus Christ, but you gotta serve in the kingdom though. You gotta serve in his kingdom though.
Yeah, you got a light bill and water bill and shit. You know?
Put you in a stroke.
Yeah, right. You paying rent or you paying a mortgage.
Subject to payment.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
With them hella Doris fucking slippers on today, man. You got them hella Doris.
Doris,
You got a gas, you got some hella Doris. Yeah, you got them slippers on.
Hey,
Hella Doris 9s, man.
Yeah. And this dude we're talking about, you're a complete joke. Here you are saying that you're the Messiah and that you're a man of God, but you're out here with your whole family on Pride Day.
Yeah. Yeah, you getting in the festivities, man. You sneaking and getting.
Yeah.
White, everybody got white linen on, man. We had that nigga Tory Lanez too. Hey, I told you Tory Lanez. I know you're watching this. How you found us down there? Hey, Tory Lanez. Hey, don't play with us. Don't play with Megan Thee Stallion next in that court case you got, man. Don't play with us. You got better things to be doing, man. We ain't got time to be playing with you niggas, man. Hey, whatever you want to do, you want to go smoke some crack, you want to go commit suicide, whatever you want to do, go do that shit, man. Then you got a problem when we say go do that. Yeah. Hey, whatever you say it is. You want an argument, man. We don't want to argue with you, man.
They get their charge. They get their electricity from their father. Jake get the charge that's coming from their father, the devil. All right, that prompt them to go and push forward what they receiving from their father, the devil, man. All right, they get all their electricity from him. That's their power source, man. Jake is tapped into the wicked. The wicked is the man of pride. So that's where they get their power source from, man. That's why you see everybody proud. You can't be 450 pounds and proud.
And Daisy Dukes.
And Daisy Dukes, and you proud.
Yeah, you got Daisy Dukes on, but you 500 pounds.
Yeah, you shouldn't say no to nobody.
Exactly, right.
I don't give a fuck who asked you that. Everything should be yes.
Yeah, for real.
Yo, like, come on, man.
Yeah. Even Dog Slim that came down there. Nigga, you. Nigga, you 110 pounds, man.
Yeah.
Get flexed out. The Lord gonna flex you niggas out. You niggas keep playing with his prophets, and the Lord gonna flex you niggas out. Well, it's just a matter of time. They already flexed out in the heavens. It just gotta come to pass.
That's it.
All right?
So,
you got it.
It's going around the corner, man.
Hey.
You know, y'all love fucking scoffing. You know, here it is called us Pharisees. What kind of dumb shit is that? You know?
And your funky, musty women recording to put it on Facebook. They recording this, bitch.
And that's unrighteous. But look, that's how you know they don't read the scriptures, because they ain't righteous Pharisees. Yeah, you see? They had been in there with righteous, so y'all still don't know what y'all talking about. They just said the Pharisees like they was all wicked. All right, they don't know the scriptures, man. So that's why we don't mind that it says after one admonition or another reject, man. After two admonitions, reject.
That's getting on the brother.
Yeah, I know it's getting on the brother, but he's coming as a brother. In a sense, he's trying to come as a brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, he act like he's trying to build. He said, we gonna either build or destroy. You ain't building with us, man. You're not in the temple or the tabernacle of the Lord. Yeah. You don't even know the Lord's name.
Yeah, you sure gonna find that out real soon when you get to the stuff, man. Like you're saying, y'all was counting in 66.6% of the bill.
We dealing with brick. You niggas dealing with sand. You niggas go to sand.
Yeah, y'all just fucking bugged out. So ain't nobody can't tell you different. No matter of fact, stay bugged out. I don't even want to tell you different. You know?
Book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 13. Let's start at 12. The beginning of pride is when one departed from Yahweh, and his heart is turned away from his maker. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore Yahweh brought upon them strange calamities, and overthrew them utterly.
They overthrown them, man. No hate. That pride is a mother. It gets you every time. It bugs you out. You know, as soon as you think you're on your high horse, the most I come and knock that shit down, man. And you right back down in the dirt where you started from. Or you worse than where you started from, you know?
Look what he did to Antiochus, man. Antiochus was lifted up, man. Which we know he's good, of course, he's from the line of him.
Sad for the man. Even in the midst of his downfall, he still prays to the heads of high power. You niggas on the bottom, the fucking mud, and still don't want to give praise to your high by the outside. That's who did it to you. Yeah. Hey, you proud, man. You Jason proud, man. Hip hop shit is bullshit, alright? Black culture is trash. And you still trying, without being in the depths of the hood, to get on the slums, man. Still wrong with you niggas, man. My bad.
Hey, our people won't acknowledge. They're not going to acknowledge the Lord, man. All right, now we already know the wicked. God is not at all in none of his thoughts. So when you follow the wicked, God ain't in our 2/3 of our people's thoughts, man. Just look at the acts that they commit. They show you that God ain't in their thoughts, man. And they don't have acknowledgement that they keep committing. Right? It says, speak about how they fully commit in Jeremiah, man. They fully committed to not acknowledging the Lord. Being often reproved, holding their neck, they're going to be suddenly destroyed without remedy. That's why the Lord wants them to stay in their mindset the way they think and what? They can sin and sin and sin, man. Because sin is not executed speedily, it's fully set in the hearts of men to do evil, man. All right? And our people got an evil root, a malignant root inside of them, man. All right? They haven't repented. That's taking root in them. Wickedness have taken root in them, man. Our people have overpassed the deeds of the wicked. So our people is just like his father. That's when Yahweh shall speak in John. He's like, yo, y'all father is the devil. Of this, y'all blinded by the man of this world, man. You see?
Yeah, and Jake get real puffed up with pride, man. Nigga dribble a damn ball, you know? A nigga can dribble a ball and he think he the best thing on the earth, man. Or he can catch a ball, rap it too. Yeah. Or he can run up and down the field all day. He think he the greatest thing since you had. What's up, man? And in case you niggas ain't nothing but dirt, man, when you get down to it. You know, you low, Jake. But you let Esau puff your head up thinking, oh, you that nigga. But when in reality, it's 1,000 other niggas just like you waiting to get in there, man.
Real. That's better than you.
Yeah.
Hey, they didn't make it because they had the dignity to not get tossed in the ass.
Yeah.
You can't be prideful, Jake, when you got millions of dollars and you eat dick.
Yeah.
Salaki, man.
You got hundreds of thousands of Israelites that can goddamn catch the ball, sing,
And you're
rap.
homosexual, though.
Yeah, dance. And you let Esau pump you up thinking you the best thing going, man. All you niggas replace you, man. So don't get proud, Dick. You know, bring it down about 3 notches.
This Psalm 59 and 12. For the sin of their mouth and the words of their lips, let them even be taken in their pride. And for cursing and lying which they speak, consume them in wrath, consume them, that they may not be, and let them know that Yahweh ruling in Jacob unto the ends of the earth. Salah.
Yeah. And look, you got somebody else sitting up here all proud.
Proud with no shirt on.
You know, what are you? You Asian?
Somebody's gonna take your stuff. We're gonna take your stuff over there.
I doubt that. If they do, then they get to call the cops.
Yeah, the cops coming tomorrow, man.
Let's not worry about what I got going on.
Man, this ain't you and I was shit, man. Y'all tripping today. Jeremiah, get him, man.
Hey, come here, man. Hey, come here, my man. Hey, come here, my man. Hey, bro. Hey,
He proud. Most I brought us another example.
This is Ecclesiastes 5 and 1. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil.
Right. Hey, shut your goddamn mouth when you come up here. You want to know what's going on? Shut up and listen for a couple minutes, you know? Then ask you a question. Don't come up here like you running something. You don't run nothing up here. None of y'all. From the so-called white man all down to a goddamn nigger woman.
Especially a snake bit looking ass goddamn Asian.
Yeah.
Hey, the law about to show niggas and other nations that he ruling in the kingdom of men, man.
Yeah.
The law about to show you who rules. That's pride. But that's funny how the Lord bringing people up who got pride on them. And we've been speaking about it all day. That's pride. Don't worry about what I'm doing over there. Y'all just focus on what are you talking about? You know? Yeah, you. Hey, who 911 is? The most powerful man ever. That's why he told him, call me. Call me. All right?
This is verse 8. Hey, if you haven't heard, the police are getting defunded, so there about to be ain't no more cops and no more 911. You're gonna have to stand on all that shit that's coming out of your fucking mouth.
Look at that nigga, man. That nigga look like an Asian Pootie-Tang. Look at it. Pootie-Tang, Pootie-Tai. Pootie-Tai, Pootie-Tang,
And he
Pootie-Tang.
about to rap too. That shit garbage. He about to rap and that Lord knows he ain't gonna get no record deal. He ain't close to one of them. But he'll be the type to get a record deal because he look like he'll commit all type of lewd acts. Get him, man. Just a lot of lewd acts all the way to the top. Lewd acts. Yeah, the sodomite is C. He's just gonna join it, man. Yeah, he's just confidence of Sodom, man. The next Tekashi. Now we go, bro.
But this is verse 2. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before the Most High. For the Most High is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore, let thy words be few.
Yeah, don't be rash with your big mouth. You know, stop coming up here talking all reckless when I keep running something. You know, man, like you Jacob or heathen. You don't run nothing up here. This is the Most High show, man. You know, you be doing his will, and you can't run shit. You can't dictate what scripture we gonna bring out. None of that. I'm gonna chase him down. You can't even fucking.
That ain't got nothing there. I'm just gonna be
I don't even fucking ask you anything, goddamn. You gotta ask somebody else first. You ask somebody. That's how you gotta do it now, goddamn. You gotta be clear. Don't come up here just thinking you goddamn control stuff, man. Fuck you people. What the nigga got up in this?
And Death is a reprieve for you people's worthless lives. Ever since you were born, the majority of you people are just worthless. You're walking around waiting to get judged. That's as simple as it is.
That is an equalizer for pride, man. It's the perfect equalizer for pride. That's why the Lord allowed everybody to be in their pride so he can base it. It's simple. All right, everything you see is orchestrated and structured out so the Lord could deconstruct it, man. Break it down. He built all this up. He allowed all this to get built up so he could deconstruct, man. That's what the Lord about.
That's what Romans, the 9th chapter, along around 13 or so. Get it real fast? That's about 10.
About Pharaoh?
Yes.
I got it.
That's what that's about, man.
I got it.
Yeah, bring that on.
This
You
is
got it, bring it down now.
This is Romans 9, verse, I'll start at verse 16. So then, it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of the Most High that sheweth mercy. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might shew my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will he hardeneth him. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For what man resisteth his will?
Hey, King's heart is the Most High's hand, you know. Hey, Most High rose up Pharaoh, and he brought Pharaoh down to nothing, man. You know, it goes to show you, the Most High is in full control. He has full power over any and everything and everybody, every creature, every insect. Nothing gets past the Most High. You know, and like you said, he have mercy on who the hell he want to have mercy on. You know?
And it goes in depth. Verse 20. Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against the Most High? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Hath not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? What if the Most High, willing to shew his wrath and to make his power known, endureth with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?
That's right. Most High controls the whole board, man. Like you saying, he let Esau do his thing. He gave him a season, build his fucking funky Babylon up, so he can tear it down and show his true power. That he's in control. He's the ruler. And he gave you that temporary power for a second, man. You know? So, but you gonna, all y'all gonna see, even down to our nation, you gonna see how the Most High get down.
Most of the Gatorades, but like a lot of the power is too. I got that problem.
Just to back up to Romans 9.
Gatorade got pork in it.
It's Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness.
Yeah, Edom, so-called white man. They built up all over the world, you know. You understand? How that precept goes? Look, it's all built up, right? Even though this is a poor excuse for a city, but you know, but hey, Esau Edom built this. And the Most High is gonna tear it down though, man. Like you're saying, all the proud, all you Sodomites, all you wicked Israelites, man, you actually gonna see how your power get down. They forgot how the Most High get down, man. You niggas used to be real scared back in them days, shaking in your damn sandals. But now you walk around proud as hell, you know, and you out here doing your thing. Hey, we gonna see real soon. All you hardy ass women, you gonna be laid low real quick.
It's Wisdom of Solomon 11 and 21. For thou canst show thy great strength at all times when thou wilt. And who may withstand the power of thine own? So the Lord can get busy with his strength whenever he ready. See, man, the Lord gonna show them his strength. The Lord about to open the heavens, all right, and show everybody his strength, man. His strength gonna be on full display, which is strength going to the armies of, the hosts, the armies, which are the angels, all right, and they gonna get busy on the entire earth. He gonna let the winds go according to Revelation, and they gonna destroy this place, man. That's gonna be the power of the Lord on full display, man. All right, and your people eyes gonna see it. It says for the whole world before thee is as a little grain of the balance, yet as a drop of the morning dew that falleth down upon the earth. So the world is a small balance to the Lord. The Lord can destroy the whole earth, man, with just a snap of the finger, man. You gotta understand the power you're going against, man. This is another level. Jake don't consider that, though. Jake don't consider that he's sinning against his power, man. The power that created the heavens and the earth. All right, it's another level, man. This Isaiah 64:1. Oh, that thou wouldest rend the heavens, that thou wouldest come down, that the mountains might flow down at thy presence. Now that alone, the Lord could rend the heavens and make the mountains flow down at his presence, man. Mountains go into larger governments as well as power structures out here, man. But the actual mountains too, the mountains are immovable. But the Lord can move the mountains. He created. It says, as when the melting fire burning, the fire causes the water to boil, to make thy name known to thine adversaries, that the nations may tremble at thy presence. So the Lord do all this just to make men tremble at his presence, man. All right, the Lord got the name Al-Ashad, which is known as terrible demon-like power, man. What is people doing? People rapping on beat. You got fake ass Takashi rapping on beat. Nothing. What are you doing? Hey, oh, you can't hear? Hey. You say you can't hear? Alright? With the Lord of Sabaoth have enjoined the name to him Al-Ashad, which means demon-like terrible power, man. What is Jake doing out here?
Who is this big teddy bear? You niggas go to church and hear about everything. Who is this big teddy bear that's letting everything go on? He ain't gonna kill nothing.
Lord, man, a war, man.
He ain't gonna do you nothing.
The Lord goes water and niggas is gonna be like water everywhere, man.
So how, where's this big teddy bear in the sky we keep hearing about?
I don't understand.
I keep hearing about a man that's gonna come and kill a bunch of people, man. And that has killed people. You know? And it's Georgia. Yeah.
They say that his word touched the earth like a sharp-edged sword and stood in the earth. No, like so when the angels and the Lord coming down, they coming to fulfill every word that was written in the book for them to do on the earth, man. So they gonna stand still on the earth. And Wisdom of Solomon, go ahead, you got it out.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18. I'm going to start at 15 to back up the brother. Thine almighty word, which we know is Yahushai, leap down from heaven out of thy royal throne as a fierce man of war into the midst of the land of destruction.
Yeah, not no nigga that's 110 pounds. Talking about he a man of war. He a warrior. Last nigga I know that said he was a warrior, his name was Fleet Johnson.
That's right.
Which one are you?
I'm a warrior.
Yeah, get out of here.
The Lord of warmonger, man. Yeah. All of the Lord sitting in the heavens just come on, man. The Lord,
Jesus Christ.
that's crazy. The Lord done killed everybody you saw die.
Everybody.
No, he killed everybody. The Lord a bloody man.
It ain't nobody gonna check him, man.
Nobody.
Nobody.
You will not be inquired.
You can't kill the Most High choice for murder, you know? How can you?
I'll kill it. I'll kill it.
You can't charge him for nothing.
It's a difference between murder and killing.
Yeah.
The Lord is justified in his killing, y'all. Righteous.
Everything he do is
killed.
justified.
You're not gonna tell the Lord on the
Exactly.
your mother, don't leave no ass.
He do what the fuck when he wants, man.
Whoever died being innocent.
Exactly.
Whoever perished, the Lord, like everybody died, they wasn't innocent.
They had it coming.
They, Come on, man.
That's in this life. The Lord can kill you for something in this life.
Right.
You damn sure the Lord can kill you for something in the past life, man.
And will, and have done it.
And doing it now. Somebody
Countless
died.
times.
Somebody, the ghost is leaving somebody's spirit
Right now.
Right now, they body right now, man. That's his speech.
Millions of people. Millions. I'm about to say millions, bro. And millions of babies being born. The Lord is justified in all his doings. He tell you that in the scriptures.
Yeah, that's why we ain't scared of you niggas either, man.
Oh my God.
You all white settle niggas with the cool niggas. We not scared of you niggas, man. Alright? The Tory Lane niggas, we ain't scared of you niggas, man. We only scared of one person, 2 men. Yahweh and Yahweh shot, man. You niggas can't do a goddamn thing, and neither one of us, man.
Right.
And yes, nigga, I am my brother's keeper. Any one of them out there.
Right.
Nigga.
Facts.
Nigga.
And if we do be scared of y'all, we shouldn't be in the congregation of the Lord, man. Oh man, it's wild out.
It's about that time.
And any man showing fear, in the house of the Lord, you might as well go make your bed or jump in the grave. Go dig you 6 feet and jump in that bitch, man.
Hey, Snoop Dogg said it best. If you're scared, go to church.
Go to church, man.
This ain't for you.
And this ain't church either.
That's it.
Huh. Not with the building. Not with the building.
True church.
It's the true church. Yeah, man.
This is verse 16. And brought thine unfeigned commandment as a sharp sword, and
Right.
standing up, filled all things with death.
See?
And it touched the heaven,
Yup.
but it stood upon the earth.
Read that again, man. No, wait. And people don't want to submit to this. Or people don't want to get in line with this. Jake crazy.
Hey, perfect segue going into Yahushua coming to bring that death and destruction and that mass misery to you people out here. But since I'm already here, I'll just reread it. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18. I'm gonna start at 15 again. Thine almighty word, which we know Yahushua was the word made flesh, leaped down from heaven out of thy royal throne.
He leaped, huh?
Like a lion.
Like a lion. A lion, when he rushed you, he leaped. Go ahead, man.
God, give me
To jump on top of your fucking head, man.
Revelation chapter 1, start at verse 1 and jump down to verse 7. Somebody jump to Revelation 19, read 11 to 15, Baba Kashad. Hey, we're Revelation 19 and 11, start at 11, go down to 15, Baba Kashad. But then, hey, we're just going to go into Yahushua, that almighty word leaping down and about to kill the majority of you people on this planet. Because you're all fucking worthless anyway.
I got 14 on that.
Yeah, like I said, this is a true church, man. This ain't a brick and mortar building where you can go and whatever you say is controlled, man. Your speech and the way your tone is. The Lord ain't come back. The Lord didn't invest in a mortal building. The Lord invested in people, spiritual people, man. His people. He didn't invest in no goddamn building, man. All right. And this is not controlled. This is not controlled by 501c3. No, we control what we're gonna say up here, man. Yeah, we control by the Lord. Go ahead.
Thine almighty word leaped down from heaven out of thy royal throne as a fierce man of war into the midst of a land of destruction, and brought thine unfeigned commandment as a sharp sword, and standing up filled all things with death, and it touched the heaven, but it stood upon the earth. Then suddenly visions of horrible dreams troubled them sore, and terrors came upon them unlooked for. In the majority.
What's up, big dog?
Hey, Slim's not making it. hey, but as it said, and terrors came upon.
Hey, the Lord might look out for him.
Slim came through.
For real, the Lord might look out for him because he know about this. He know who we are, and he respects us. The Lord might look out for him, man. Pray for him. He might come around.
Yeah, I just being.
Yeah, I know. We say pray, but the Lord might look out for him.
Help us out, to say the least. There ain't many that do that. Just that ain't helping us.
The scripture says about a man that gives the prophets cold water, man. We gotta be fair. Everybody out here that ain't a 2/3, you know? They got some accounts. People gonna be delivered, man. But that one bro that came up and gave a $100, you never know, man. Yeah, that might be one thing the Lord made us forgive him on, man. You know?
And Salakia Slim, if you're watching, Jake was just being an asshole for a second. But back in verse 17, and terrors came upon them unlooked for, and the majority of you people aren't looking for the day of the Lord. There's going to be mass death, destruction, and misery for everybody, for your great pride and wickedness. Hey, it's going to begin with the race wars, the famines, the civil wars, the pestilences, martial law, World War III, and if your funky ass makes it through all that, you get to look forward to those nuclear missiles hitting you and getting hit by that concentrated heat, or those so-called laser beams from the chariot. All Hey, all this destruction coming courtesy of who you ignorantly refer to as so-called Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ was a homosexual. The true name of the Messiah is Yahawashi Hamashiach.
Right.
And he has the image of a dark-skinned Negro with a white woolly afro and beard.
Yeah, this all the crimes this guy commit. This shows Jesus Christ right here. This is a real history lesson right here, man.
A mass murderer. He popped his sister.
That's right.
He had relations with Leonardo da Vinci.
That's who dudes say he is, though.
That's who
he actually say he is. Because this is who is portrayed as Jesus Christ, man.
He the black version though. He the other meat. He the other dog meat.
Hey, that's why your lover, your boyfriend with the pink hat, your bugged out son, and your funky smelly women are out here on Project. But hey, that judgment's coming from Yahawashi Hamashiach, the savior of the elect and the destroyer of the wicked, 2/3, and you heathen nations. And we cannot wait for this day. We can clearly see that this day is coming upon us. I know the majority of you people out here have been hearing about the governments talking about the existence of so-called UFOs and that they're going to release reports on it. And while we know they're not going to say that the angels are the Most High, piloted by while they're not going to say they're the chariots of the Most High, piloted by dark-skinned angels, just the fact that there's been such an uptick in chariot sightings goes to show you of the times we're living in. Hey, as we speak right now, there are chariots that you can't see hovered above the men of the Lord. The angels encampeth around those that fear the Lord. So we fear nothing. Hey, we fear Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, but as for you people out here, you can't do shit unless you're sanctioned by it.
To back up it's Revelation 14, and it started 18. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress.
Hey, and that angel with that sickle is Yahawashi coming to reap. And we know that there are those grapes, those wheats that are going to get gathered into the barn of the chariots. And then there's those grapes, the majority of you which were born in vain, that what's it going to go into, that are cast into the fire.
It says, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of Yahweh. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horse's bridle.
Hey, somebody give me a Jeremiah 25, start at verse 31, just real quick to back that up. Hey, that blood that is going to be as high as the horse's bridle, that's how much death and destruction is coming to the streets of America, and hey, from one end of the earth, even to the other. And as we can clearly see, you people deserve it. You're waiting for it. You just don't know it yet. Hey, death is better than you just walking around like a degenerate, a useless eater, as these elites of this world like to call you. But hey, the elites of the world to come call you useless eaters. That's all. Because that's all you are. You got the 25. Got to start at verse 31. I reread the last part.
Revelation 14 and 20. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horse's bridle.
Hey, mass death and destruction to come. And as we're going to get into this Jeremiah 25, it's going to be from one end of the earth even unto the other. Give me Isaiah 66 and 15 just to back up.
This is Jeremiah 25 verse 31. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord had a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh.
And when we go into the Strongs for that word plead, it's shafat, which means to vindicate, to judge, punish. It doesn't mean the Most High or His Son's coming with a bouquet of roses to play nicely with people. He's coming to judge viciously, and vindictively on you people for your wickedness. Hey, for what you heathen nations, beginning with you Edomites, or so-called white people, have done to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and 2/3 of the nation of Israel, who have refused to return under their power. And when it says that judgment has come from the ends of the earth, when we go to Revelation 7, what does it say? Those angels are holding back the four winds. They're holding back that destruction that's about to go from one end of the earth even unto the other. With the missiles, the plagues, the famines, the pestilences, and the chariots.
It says, He will give them that are wicked to the sword, said the Lord.
Hey, that sword beginning with the physical sword, and Esau and Edom. Because hey, even though Esau's going to get judged as well, he's still the sword of the Most High. Everything you're seeing right now, from the situation to the cyber warfare attacks, to the food shortages, the gasoline shortages, that's the Most High using his sword Esau to get everything prepared for that ultimate lights out situation. And then this mass judgment's going to come afterwards. Because hey, while Esau's going to come down like a devil in great wrath, it's going to get so bad to where it's even going to get, it was always out of Esau's hands, but it's going to be completely out of his hands. Because right now these elites do think that they have some control over things and they're bringing about their new world order. But hey, it's going to get to the point to where it's even going to get out of your hands. And as it says in 2nd Esdras, even the powers shall stand in fear.
They're going to see how overwhelming the power of God. This is Isaiah 66 verse 15.
Wait, read verse 32 15 by the
This is Jeremiah 25 and 32. It said, Thus said the Lord of hosts, Behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be rised up from the coast of the earth. This is Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire.
And we know that whirlwind can go into two things. It can go into those nuclear missiles, that great whirlwind getting stirred up, and ultimately the chariots, as it just said in Isaiah 66 verse 15. And Yahushua is returning with a fleet of great whirlwinds. Beginning with that massive fathership chariots coming in, and then the heavenly hosts of those white horses, many other chariots, to bring about that great destruction from one end of the earth even unto the other. And hey, it's not going to be pretty. As the brother brought out in that Revelation 14, the blood is going to be high as the horse's bridle. And what's it saying in verse 33?
It says in verse 33, Jeremiah 25 and 33, and the slain of the Lord shall be at the day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered, nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground.
Hey, like we've been saying, the majority of you people out here were born in vain. You're worthless. Yep. And this is not just the only scripture that describes you as dung or shit. Because that's what the majority of you are. Your shit just waiting to get flushed down that toilet. And there's going to be so much mass death and dead bodies in that day. Unflushed shit. Diarrhea, green shit, running shit, diarrhea. Exactly.
The Lord ain't gonna flush that shit. He's gonna have it in the earth, man.
And he's gonna burn it like a dumpster fire. That's how that's gonna get flushed. And hey, to you people out here, you better get used to seeing mass dead bodies lying on the streets to where you don't give a second thought like that turd that dung you do flush down the toilet. And hey, that's the days we are diligently looking for. Because like we were saying earlier, we just come out here and it's just bug outs at this point. People coming and talking shit, coming up to get their judgment. But when that hammer, that sword really drops, and we know that once all this terror comes, what's the next thing? The kingdom.
And we just in the hour of resistance of the Lord now. Ever since we kind of came back from that pandemic, like you had kind of prophesied to that, it's just been weirdos and bug outs. Everybody come up and just want to battle. Like, it's like we're in the hour of the time of resistance of the Lord, man. That's it. You gotta ain't nobody going.
Yeah, 66. This is Isaiah 66, verse 16. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Hey, the slain of the Lord shall be many again. Back in that Jeremiah 25, from one end of the earth even unto the other, as dung upon the ground, by that fire and by that sword, by the nuclear missiles, by these different things, these different plagues and judgments that are coming that Yahushua spoke about in Matthew 24. And then, hey, the chariots coming, shooting that concentrated heat, or those so-called laser beams on you. And now we're just going to further get into, hey, what Yahushua is coming to bring you people out. 2/3 and the rest of you heathen nations, beginning with you Edomites, you red dogs, you so-called white people, the basest of men, the real scum of the earth.
Right.
You got that Revelation?
Yep, got it right here.
Starting verse 1.
Yep, to the 7.
7, and then
This is Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Yahushua Mashiach.
And we know that word revelation means things being revealed. So hey, it was revealed unto John to write it down on the island of Patmos, and now we're living in those times, whereas it said in Revelation chapter 10 that she shall be before men again to preach this word. Hey, John's out here preaching this word before men, giving that final revelation of Yahushua in the spirit before it manifests in the physical. And as it says in one of my favorite precepts in Luke chapter 10, many great kings and prophets and men have desired to see the days that ye see and have not seen them. And they inquired in Acts chapter 1, when Yahushua went back up into the heavens, are these the times when the kingdom shall be established? The great men of old have been waiting for these days where now. And now we're finally here. Hey, we can't remember our past reincarnations, but it's a blessing just to be in this time. Thousands of years building up to this very moment right here. The downfall of our enemies and the ushering in of the kingdom of heaven, where we're going to rule for eternity.
It says, which Yahweh gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must come shortly to pass.
Which must shortly come to pass. Yep. Shortly come to pass.
It must.
And like brothers always say, we're in the last seconds of the last days. At this point, we might be in the last milliseconds of the seconds.
Just look around, man.
God.
This place is done, man.
There's not much left to do here. Once that second lockdown hits, once the Dos Equis G gets turned on, once the cyber attacks really put in that work, it's not going back to normal. This is the last little bit of normal you people have out here. That you can still go to the store and buy things relatively cheap. That you can still talk shit and go on the internet. Well, you can't get a PlayStation 5, so you got to get a PlayStation 4. Do all that. But that's about to come to an end.
It says, and he sent and signified it by his angels unto his servant John. And it says, this Revelation 1:7, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindred of the earth shall well because of him, even so among.
And we know clouds in the scriptures can be synonymous with the chariots. That's pursuant to Psalms 104. He making his clouds his chariot. It said that every eye shall see him. Hey, that massive fathership chariot that Yahushua is returning in, that Esdras couldn't see the end of in 2 Esdras 13. And over these at least the past 2 years, there have been reports from like NASA and these other space agencies saying that so-called UFOs, bigger than the Earth, have either passed over the top of the Earth or been shown next to the sun. And that's the kind of power that Yahushua is returning in. And where it says that they also which pierced him. Hey, because if you can receive it, reincarnation is biblical. So those same centurions that pierced Yahushua in the past are back here today to receive that judgment personally. And all kindreds, and that word kindreds goes into nations of the earth shall well because of him. 2/3 of the nation of Israel, because they're going to take part in the same judgment as these heathen nations for being rebellious but also, hey, the elect of the nation of Israel, those kindreds are going to wail because they're going to get beamed up on the chariots because that salvation has finally come.
Real quick. It's Isaiah 31:5. As birds flying, so will Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it. And passing over, he will preserve it. That's why I told you the angels are coming back to deliver the elect and to destroy everybody else, man. It's going to be a great salvation and a great destruction. As birds flying, man. It's talking about the chariot. It's Isaiah 31:5. As birds flying, so will Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it. And passing over, he will preserve it.
You can break it down, huh?
Yeah, so again, the chariots are going to save the elect of the nation of Israel. And it's also going to destroy Babylon the Great, along with the missiles. Right? Russia, Iran, China, every nation with nukes is going to aim them right here and completely blow this place off the face of the earth. So,
Revelation 19, verse 11.
And just to further hammer in, while all the nations, while the kindreds of the earth are going to wail because of him, to say he's coming for that salvation to save his elect, but he's also coming to bring war on you heathen nations from one end of the earth even unto the other. Chiefly you Edomites, as it says in Isaiah chapter 63. Who is this with dyed garments from Bosra?
You got it. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon was called Faithful and True. And righteousness he doth judge and make war.
Not peace, he doth judge and make war. And that white horse is another symbol for that massive chariot Yahweh Shai is returning in. He's not literally coming walking on, riding on a white horse. It's all symbolism.
Right? And it says, his eyes were flames of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself.
And that name written, that many crowns is symbolic for Yahweh Shai returning to take away the rulership of the heathen nations, to take away the crowns off the so-called king's head. Because once Yahweh Shai returns, that's it. No other heathen nation is going to rule afterwards, and the kingdom of heaven is going to be set up from henceforth. And the only kings are going to be those 144,000 kings underneath Yahweh Shai, underneath Yahweh.
It says, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of Yahweh.
Give me Isaiah real quick. And like I just said, hey, that main target that he's coming after are you Edomites. He has a personal vendetta against you heathen nations because you are the ones that have done the most to the children of Israel. Hey, he was in Rome when he was crucified, which was an Edomite empire. And his vesture just mad. And his vesture dipped in blood. It's symbolic for the mass death and destruction that he's bringing, again, chiefly to you Edomites, which is further reiterated in Isaiah chapter 63. Because as his brother said, hey, Babylon is going to be destroyed. Everywhere you Edomites dwell is going to get hit with missiles, nuclear missiles, and those so-called laser beams from the chariot. But the one place that's going to be completely wiped off the face of the earth is going to be Babylon the Great, the United States of America, because those laser beams are going to hit it, and then 200 million nuclear missiles are going to hit it, turning it into the biblical lake of fire from sea to shining sea, and then a desolate, uninhabitable wasteland afterwards. And anybody that is not of that elect number, once that terror and destruction touches down on this place, you're not going to make it. You're just going to be fueled to the fire. Because like our apostle elders always say, hey, America is the biggest sacrificial altar on the earth. Because that's all this.
Hey, but the Lord, I think it's in, it's in Isaiah the 34th chapter.
I got it.
But the Lord said he has a controversy with Babylon. And it goes on to say it's a sacrifice unto the word. You got it in what?
I got Isaiah 34.
What about 3? It come on down around 9, 8.
God. He names that do mean it's like specifically. It's Isaiah 34, starting at 3. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses. and the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
Hey, we know mountains are symbolic of rulership. So these different governments and nations, chiefly of
So at the top, I forgot. You gotta get the whole meat off that The whole meat.
Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter.
And we know those armies are talking about these different heathen nations that are going to be gathered down in the Yahweh Shaphat, Yahweh's judgment, the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, over in that Middle Eastern region for this great battle during World War III.
Verse 3. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
Again, those mountains being symbolic of these governments, chiefly the governments of these Edomite nations, which every place is going to get hit with nuclear missiles, as well as the laser beams from the chariots. There's going to be a lot of death. But the only place, again, that's going to be completely wiped off the face of the earth is Babylon the Great, the United States of America.
And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and all the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
And we know those heavens being rolled together as a scroll is referring to that mushroom cloud from those nuclear missiles. Because what does that cloud look like when it goes up and billows into itself? Like a scroll being rolled together.
And all their hosts shall fall down. Host means armies. All their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment.
Upon Idumea, which is just the Greek way of saying Edom, the people of my curse to judgment.
Go down to 11. Read all the way down to 11.
And why are the Idumeans or the Edomites the curse of the Most High? For one, they've been cursed or stricken with leprosy, and for two, you're the curse because you're the main nation that afflicted the apple of the Most High's eye, the children of Israel. You were created to be hated by the Most High and to ultimately be destroyed by the Most High. And I mean, just look around you. That's a curse. That's a curse right there.
Them niggas ain't nothing wrong with them though. That nigga, some little young high nigga, his mind on Pluto right now. Nigga talking about we the devil, but you don't say nothing to them goddamn the mother sodomites out here and shit. Show you how you niggas are back, you are all twisted and backwards, man. No?
There's plenty of examples of that great city in Revelation 11 verse 8 being spiritual Sodom and Egypt, serving as.
That's why we don't feel bad for you niggas, man. God allows something to happen to you. Go ahead, dog.
Hey, Egypt, God, not an ounce of mercy for you heathen nations because you're shit, you spit, but for 2/3 of the nation of Israel because you're like as these heathen nations. You're brute beasts and dogs, so it's better for y'all to be cut off as well instead of just sit here and vex ultimately the Most High, but vex the prophets, those that are diligently out here.
Then I look at this other nigga, he wanna be Jake so bad. Look at this shit over there. He wanna be a Jake so bad, bro. Yeah, Cheech and Chong over there. That nigga wanna be Jake so bad, bro.
And look at the crowd he's got.
Yeah, but look at the crowd by us. Nothing. It's a little sanctuary, man. Right?
Finally, man.
With the Lord about to checkmate America. If anybody know anything about chess, when you checkmate, the king is dead. All right? America is dead. Once you checkmate, you about to get checkmated.
Hey.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, amongst the nations of the earth, when you allow a woman to sit in the most so-called second powerful seat on the planet Earth, because anything can happen to Sleepy Joe at any time, as you can see. Sleepy Joe can even, what they call that little bug? It's over the seats. Sakana, when a Sakana jump on his neck, you can't even wipe that bitch. The bug was still on his neck, man. You know?
You can't even walk up a flight of stairs without falling. Falling upstairs.
That shows you, man. This bitch is gone, man.
Hey, that would. Hey, even though it doesn't matter, wouldn't that be a fitting end for Babylon? Hey, the serpent and Eve, the last rulers of Babylon before it's taken down, the bosom buddies.
But it shows you too that A lot of these black women sitting in the second house on the Esau, man.
That's what the queen is on the board and chess. The queen move wherever it wants. And then you got bishops and different things that got power, and in this earth, they giving everybody power. Like everything got power. Not in the kingdom of heaven. The only thing that have power is the elect men and those, you know, in like manner, man. That's it. But the queen can move wherever she wants. In this board, man. Over here. On the chessboard, likening that to the
And with chess, checkmate is when the king is taken down, so the game's over. And what it say back in that that Revelation 19, he's come to take many crowns, to checkmate many kings.
He's gonna be the one to be able to move you off the board out.
He is the board. He's the board. He's the pieces. He's the bishop, the rook, the knight, and you people are the pawn.
Somebody else's pawn. Verse 6. The sword of Yahweh is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For Yahweh hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
Hey,
Keep going. Oh, go ahead.
oh, hey, all those
So hyped up to get that foot. Go ahead.
all those different animals are sacrificial animals on an altar. Say, and it's equating that sacrifice to Basra, which was the chief city of Edom. And what's the chiefest city today? Spiritual Basra. Babylon, the United States, and to Idumea, the people of his curse. Like we've been saying, the main targets that Yahushua is returning to take that crown from and checkmate are you Edomites. Stated once in Isaiah chapter 34 and further stated in Isaiah chapter 63.
Verse 7. And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls. The unicorns goes into the internet, man. These satellites, they all gonna come down. And their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness.
That was the brother said earlier. The land of Babylon gonna be soaked with blood from one end and even to the other, even up to the harshest brother, they just said, man.
See the shining sea.
Right. That's everything in a nutshell right here. Right,
For it is the day of Yahweh's vengeance, and the year of recompense, for the controversy of Zion.
The controversy of Zion. The controversy of 2/3 being bugged out, and the controversy of you heathen nations making a prey and a sport of us, giving presents to each other and laughing at our downfall, not acknowledging that we're the children of Israel and content to call us niggers, spics, tontos, and the worst thing going, while you exalt yourselves as being better than us, when none of you are. You're all fucking worthless, especially you Edomites and you so-called white people. The basest of men.
Ain't nothing special about you. Ain't nothing special about you either, Mike.
And you know there's nothing special about you.
I'm skipping. Ain't nothing special about us.
I'm sick of, hey, the apostle said it best. You get vexed seeing these Edomites not wearing chains.
That's a fact.
A chain chain and a whip on your back is the only thing you deserve, because that's the only thing you're good for.
Thing for a dog.
A dog, a base man, an animal, a fugitive. Yeah, you've been escaping judgment for the longest. Vagabond. You've been escaping judgment for the longest time, but now it's time to pay that tab. You've got nowhere to run. Hey, Esau's been running across the planet to escape judgment, but now he's got the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven. You've got nowhere left to run.
That's why he's trying to go out to space. He's trying to escape judgment.
Hey,
What is it? Prophecy that caught up to this devil. You know?
and even you can't go to space, because what is it saying? Amos chapter 9, they shall go up to the heavens and yank them down. That's talking about those 144,000 hunters, those omni-men, to those brothers that have been watching Invincible, going up there to those space stations, getting, and they even show them. And this just goes to show Esau knows he's through, because there's a scene in Invincible where Omni-Man flies up into space and destroys a satellite shooting lasers on him, and the number on the satellite said 144. Did they just, oh, this is a number I like to write down. So I'm gonna write a superhero called Omni, or All-Man, going up there and destroying it. No. Hey, the powers that be right now know what time it is. That's why they're rushing to fulfill this janky New World Order.
Verse 9. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch.
Hey, everything getting burned up on that altar with nothing but dust and smell of smoke and a charred carcass left on it.
It shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever.
Back up by that pole, bro. Back up by that pole, huh? I'm selling water and shit. Back up by the pole, bro. You can't say nothing. Ain't nothing on the sidewalk. Ain't you coming right here. I've been watching it. Same on the match.
It says, the smoke thereof shall not go up. So like it, the smoke thereof shall go up forever, from generation to generation. It shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. But the cormorant, so like it. But the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it. And he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness.
Hey, those are talking about desert creatures which are having a time going to dwell in this place. Because this place is only going to be conducive for desert creatures. And these 200 million nuclear warheads utterly wipe it off the face of the earth. And where it says that the line of confusion is going to be stretched upon it, that means, as the other brother always goes into, like when you look at a map, you can see Louisiana shaped down, Texas, all 50 states. But this place is going to become a desert from the west coast to the east coast. You're not going to be able to say, oh, I put this one there. Yeah, you're not going to be able to say, oh, I was to Disneyland in California, or I went to Bourbon Street.
What the Lord can do, the Lord can actually make all the outlines of Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, Maine, Arkansas, South Dakota. God is going to live. Read that part again. Whoever had that.
I got. This is Isaiah 34, verse 11. But the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it. And he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness.
The lines of confusion and the stones of emptiness. When you leave out of Louisiana going to Texas, you have what? The state line. And you can see the outlines of Louisiana and Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, various other cities. The Lord's gonna shake the line of confusion, meaning when the Lord get finished with Babylon, you ain't gonna know what state was what state, man. You ain't gonna be able to say, oh, that was Kansas right there. Because you ain't gonna, it's gonna be wiped off the map, man.
And also in this chapter, it was saying that there was going to be a great sacrifice of Lazarus God's curse. And what this brother was reading in Revelation chapter 11, I believe, verse 12 or 13, it said, his vesture shall be dipped in blood. Majority the blood is two-thirds in America, and you Edomites. Because again, that made heathen nation that Yahushua is coming back to take personally from the Edomites, as it says in Isaiah 63.
This is Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom, with thy garment from Mars?
Hey, Basra again, and Idumea. We're talking about Basra, that used to be in the Edomites, the Basra today, in the United States of America.
This is that is glorious. This is that is glorious and is about traveling in the greatness of the strength. I that speak in righteousness might say, wherefore art thou red and thy valley? and thy garment like him that tread in the winepress.
Garments like a vessel in blood. Of course, when you tread in the wine sack, you're wearing garment and it gets all that over you. It's red like blood. It's not literally going to be covered in blood. It's symbolic of the past death and destruction. Yahweh's freedom making the second coming.
And then I have trodden the winepress alone, and of all the people there was none with me.
I've trodden the winepress alone and there was none with me. Yahweh is the big second that's coming. He's coming to figure out personally. Hey, what does he say? When I return, I shall not be a man, but that unstoppable angelic force. Just imagine a chariot so massive that when you look at the sky, it casts a shadow over the sky. Which they show us the picture when that chariot was coming through the sunlight, and as it was moving, watch that sunlight.
And said, for I will try them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garment, and I will change all my remnants.
But he was the Edomites.
For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemer is come.
All the Gentile sons of people looking for you. The process is taking place as we speak. Hey, with each passing day, we're getting closer and closer to the mandatory implementation of the MOB, the MICROCHIP influence. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. Chocolate chip. That right there just goes to show that thing is almost this goddamn thing. You got these systems on YouTube blocking the video and everything will shut. But you know what? Hey, we're happy about it. We're happy about it because they want to. But hey, that was it with that.
Revelation chapter 19, verse 13. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name was called the Word of Yahweh.
And of course, in John chapter 1, Yahweh Shai was the Word made flesh. And as we were reading Wisdom of Solomon 18, thy word leapeth off thy throne to bring about that judgment and to fill the earth with death.
14. And the armies were in heaven, followed him unto a white horse, clothed with fine linen, white and clean.
Hey, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. That fleet of chariots that's returning with Yahweh Shai to make war. And we're getting a preview of them right now with this uptick in chariot sightings across the planet.
And out of the mouth goeth a sharp sword that with it shall smite the nations and shall rule them with a rod of iron. He treadeth the winepress of his fierceness and wrath of the Almighty Yahweh.
And out of his mouth goes the sharp sword, that concentrated heat, that blast of fire in 2nd Ezra 13 coming out of the chariots, those so-called laser beams. And as it says, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness of the wrath of the Almighty power, and ruling them with an iron. These heathen nations being under their subjection, under his subjection, and with us being joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, them being under our subjection. And it's going to be like that for the rest of eternity, kingdom of heaven. And these are the days we diligently wait for. That's why we're going to stand on this block until this ministry is done, and then pray and hope that we endure and are of that number that get beamed up onto the chariots for salvation and to be the first fruits in the kingdom of heaven. But with that, we hope you sincere Akim out there were edified by another camp. And again, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to the sincere Akim out there, pushing this word and truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. Above, above! Above, above! Kwam Yasharallah! Kwam Yasharallah! Shalom! Shalom!